Hey everybody, I'm Jojo the Stylist.
And my name is Erika Herrera.
And welcome back to the Power Pair Podcast.
So before we bring on our guest, can I just say something?
Here we go.
No, but for real, the Power Pair isn't just about us sitting here and talking. It's about building something.
Yes, Erica, I know. We're building a community.
Yes, a strong small business community who has education behind them, not just passion.
Because passion without structure is just expensive.
That it is. And let's be honest, how many businesses start with just vibes and Canva?
And zero blueprints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why today's episode is so good, because we're literally talking to somebody who builds foundation for a living.
And we all need foundation, not just cute walls, foundation. Yes.
We're doing this because the Valley deserves strong businesses.
We deserve collaboration over competition.
Because when one business wins, the Valley wins. Okay, so can we talk about like the overnight success for a minute?
Yeah, the 10 years of overnight success.
I agree. Nobody sees the licensing, the risk, the studying, the late nights.
People just see the finished building.
And not the blueprint. So if you're watching this right now, do you have the blueprint to your business?
Or are you just reacting every day? Are you designing your future or just surviving it?
Without further ado, let's bring on Mr. Sergio Lainez, the blueprint boss himself.
Yes.
So we're here with the blueprint boss, Mr. Sergio Lainez, and he is going to tell us a little bit about himself today. But my very first question is, please tell me what an architect actually does. Like what, I have this really bad habit of saying like engineer, architect, and I totally understand that there are separate things, but please educate me here, Mr. Sergio.
Absolutely. First and foremost, thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for joining us.
You know, I've watched some of your podcast episodes already.
Good.
Very useful and amazing information
Thank
from
you.
Other entrepreneurs.
Thank you.
So what does an architect do?
Yes.
That's a great question because when I was going through school, I never met an architect. But I got into architecture because I like to draw a lot.
Oh, nice.
And my mother, being a little bit of a hoarder, not a bad thing, but a little bit of a hoarder.
Always having things that are needed, right?
She's a collector. She collects.
She's a collector.
She's a collector.
Absolutely.
There you go.
There you go.
She kept those drawings from kindergarten, first grade, second grade of,
Yeah.
I want to be an architect, I want to be an architect.
Mom can
and
do
so
Yes, they do.
that was my path all along. I never had
Nice.
to deviate and be like, well, what do I really want to be? It was always that. I had no plan B.
Yeah.
So
Love
learning about architecture, I went to architecture school, and it's a long process because architecture school is 5 years, and then you have to get a master's, and then you have to go work under an architect, and then you have to take some tests to be a licensed architect before you can actually say, I'm an architect.
Wow.
Wow.
So it's a long process,
Lengthy.
but it's
Damn.
but it's a very rewarding career.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have it any other way. And what we do is we go, and I would say I'm first and foremost a problem solver.
Okay.
I have a client. A client comes and says, hey, I want to build a school. Amazing. Do you have a site? No? We'll show you what you need. Do you have the amount of children? No? Let's go and figure out historically how many children does this school district have?
Okay.
What are the population growth? So
Okay.
it's not just a matter of me starting to draw lines. I need to understand the community. Right now we have our largest project in Corpus Christi. It's Toloso Midway ISD. We're doing a 7th and 8th grade campus. Full-blown everything from double gymnasiums to library, classrooms, cafeteria,
Love that.
kitchen, band halls, all this in one large facility. So we have to understand how much land they need, right? And so we need to understand the traffic portion of it. We don't want to block traffic, right? We need to queue up lines for students to be dropped off. And so we take all this information, we put it together with the help of engineers. They help us on those minute details of how tall we need to be and how big of a beam or a column needs to be. our air conditioning systems, our electrical systems, our plumbing systems. That's where our engineers help us.
Wow.
But us as the prime consultant, we put everything together. We design it. We're in charge of the aesthetics of it. We're in charge of the interior of it, the type of lights, the type of mood, the type of feeling. And so at the end, what the final product is produced and what you as the owner or the student being in there, what you feel is what we designed for you.
That's amazing. There are so many different parts of it that you wouldn't even think, right?
Absolutely.
ACs, the heights, I'm sure there's a lot of like
The columns, the
vectors
beams,
and even the driveway, like to go pick up the kids. Let me tell you, whoever did South Middle School, where my kids, the cops always stop me.
It was probably an
The
engineer.
cops
Which is the architect.
There you go.
I want to know which one did that,
Which
right?
one did it?
It was, yeah, we won't blame
It
the
wasn't me, I
architect. It wasn't the architect. But those are such important things because, for example, South, you have one street and there's a light, and then the school's catty corner to that light, and I'm always at that light. I can't turn until that line starts to flow. So the cop comes and he's like, ma'am, you need to go. I'm not going anywhere. Like, I need to pick up my child and she's got practice. Like, this is going to happen, sir. You can turn around and try to get in line and behind me to pull me over, but I got to be here. And it's horrible because, yeah, all of that has a lot to do with how you built the school, right?
Yes.
Do we have streets available? Do we have enough parking?
Making sure that there's enough lanes to when you drop someone off, someone else isn't getting run over.
Yes.
Or if there's an ADA person that needs special
they forgot
assistance,
all
a
of that
special
itself.
place for them.
Edinburgh, the city's gonna hate me. They're gonna be like, we're vetoing that.
It's okay. It's okay. So and ultimately, we are problem solvers. And then if you look at the technical side of it, we provide the plans for the builder to go out and build it. Think of it, you ever ordered IKEA furniture?
Absolutely.
Right? And they give you a set of instructions, just at a bigger scale. Those sets of instructions are what I do.
Nice.
Very
That's a
cool.
good way to put it.
Very
Absolutely.
cool.
Okay, Mr. Sergio, how much of your job is creative versus technical?
Well, I'm a little bit unique because I am the principal architect and I'm also the architect. So prior to opening my business, I was just a regular architect. I would say regular because someone pays me to be an architect, right? I wasn't the business owner. As an architect, you're in charge of making all these systems from the engineers to your aesthetic portion, to making sure your building looks beautiful, feels good, and then putting it down in plans. So that's the technical part, right? The creative part is all on how can I be creative on a classroom, right? Just an example. We do other projects as well, but we're sticking to schools right now. In a classroom, how can we be creative about a regular classroom for students? It's no longer a student that sits on a desk for 8 hours or 6 hours and all they do is write stuff, right? Right now we're really focused on collaborative learning. So we have classrooms where the math teacher comes in with the science teacher and they collaborate together on a specific lesson. And so we're able to bring these creative ideas to these classroom spaces and making sure that the kids are getting the most out of their learning process.
Nice. Yes.
And so creativity and technical portions is both. But what I will say on my job currently, being the business owner, I'm more along the lines of looking for business and making sure the business development of it.
Yes.
Making sure clients are happy, making sure we're hitting our goals and our deadlines, and making sure that, of course, we meet payroll.
I feel like that's creative and technical,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Like that's both. We have to, put everything into the computer, make sure everything's working out there.
Be a little creative with our numbers.
But it's so creative in the way of like making
You're right.
relationships too.
Yes.
Like,
No doubt,
how
no
are we gonna
doubt.
get that new? I can only imagine there's a lot of PR with it. So how are we going to make that new sale or connection or, how did you end up in Corpus? That's a whole other story. But you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Those are,
No doubt.
Nice.
And it also goes back to networking.
Yes,
You know,
for sure.
most important thing about a business is having a good product or a good service.
Yes.
When you have that, okay, how do I get it out to people? And how do I get people to believe in that product or service? That's where I'm at, to where I can go and sell you our product, our service, making sure that you're not worried about who am I going to hire next time. No, you don't have to go hire anybody else. I'm right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Sold.
Exactly.
Sold.
Okay, so Mr. Sergio, I think that we all go through this as business owners. Was there ever a moment that you were like, okay, I'm about to quit and I don't know what I should do? Talk to us about that moment, because I think that relates to so many other businesses out there. And if you can overcome it, if we can overcome it, maybe we can
too.
give a little advice.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, for sure.
No doubt. So there's two portions to this question. I want to go back before the business part. I almost quit architecture school. After the first year, I was barely making it. And then the second year started, and my teacher told me, he's like, maybe you're not cut out for this. Maybe you should quit. And I think that turned something on to like, wait a minute. I know this is what I want to do. So can I quit? Yes. But then I'm going to give that person the power over me. So it turned a switch. Like,
I love that.
I was almost going to quit, but you know what? Because you said I should quit, I'm not going to quit.
Yeah, let me show you.
Yes.
So that was one
Yeah,
part.
I
And then
love
on
that.
the business portion, I actually, how do I phrase this? We start with a vision. And my vision started in 2018. And it's blossomed to now where we're managing over $100 million worth of construction. And prior to that portion, right where COVID was at in 2020,
Yeah. That was scary.
I think everybody was, right? Everybody went through some struggle, but it was a struggle because nobody could go out. And construction stopped. And everything just said, let's take a pause.
Yeah.
And I had just made the leap of faith. And what do? Well, luckily I knew builders that said, I don't care. Let's just go. Let's just go and build something. And through the night or through weekends, we just go out and continued our projects. And so when COVID finally lifted, they're like, we were already done. And so the money started flowing again. So
Thank God.
yes, absolutely. But you know, it's nervous. You get nervous about it. Again, like we talked about, making payroll, making sure people are getting paid. But at that point in the beginning is when you kind of take that leap of faith of, well, I'm going to put all my savings on it. I'm going to trust the process, trust the system, trust God.
Yes.
And somehow, you know, you make it.
Yes, I love that, because that happens to us all. That happens
Absolutely.
to us all, and you kept strong,
Definitely.
and you were like, I'm going to do this.
Yes.
I don't care.
No matter what.
And especially with a professor, because let me tell you one thing, is when a professor or a teacher, like if that was my child, oh Lord, they would be running from me, because you're never supposed to at all
Degrade a kid or
Yes.
degrade anybody.
or deter them from
Yeah.
something that they've had passion for. If anything, when you see them weak, you need to give them some kind of advice
Power
or
them up.
motivation.
Yes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes,
Absolutely.
And so, but I will tell you that when my ex-husband told me, "Who do you think you are? You can't own land," I was like, "Oh hell, babe. Why would you tell me that? That just makes me want to now, you know?"
Of course.
I love
And
that. Yes.
when my grandfather, after Thomas, he was like, Mija, but you're just a woman now. You're not going to look the same as you did before. Because I was outside doing Pilates in the grass, and he was like, "A la madre, she really doesn't want to, you know." And I thought, oh my God, no, my hips are not this big. Like, I know I can be small again. So I totally get that in all my random realms of life. But I love that you shared that with us, because it's so real.
And then on top of that, I also help out the local community college in Brownsville, Texas Southmost College. I teach one class. It's a design class. And so any student there, we really try and build them up.
Yes.
There are portions of the architecture profession where you have to have kind of some thick skin.
Yeah.
So we are tough on them, but it's never to the point of you should quit.
Yes.
It's, hey, you didn't do that well this time. This is what you need to do to get better for the next one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that.
And Mr. Sergio, what was the first big project you started on?
Yeah.
Great question. So when I first started, again, we talked about starting with a vision, right?
Yes. Mhm.
And so we know that we want to make a good product, we want to give great service, but nobody really is saying, hey, I need an architect out of the blue.
Yeah.
So you have to go look for it. And through our networking friends and partners, a contractor was at a small school district, Fremont School District.
Okay.
It's north of Alfurias, very tiny. And he's like, hey, well, I'm helping them out with a school that went bad, whatever. I think they need an architect. It's a 2-hour drive, so I go and I introduce myself, cold call. Superintendent's there, and he says, can I help you? I was like, well, I'm an architect, I know you guys are doing some construction right now, but, if you ever need some design work, I'm here.
Okay.
And very open door policies. I will come in. And we sat down and talked for an hour. I showed him some of my past work, and he's like, well, I don't have anything right now, but I think in the future I'll call you.
Nice.
Great. Fast forward a year, he calls me, he's like, okay, I'm ready.
Oh my gosh,
I was like, okay, great. So I drive over there. We start talking, and we started with a concession stand for their football fields. Very unique. It's not just your typical concession stand. Fremont has a Hispanic community, and a lot of them speak only Spanish.
Okay.
And so one of the features that, with the superintendent's help as well, I give him a lot of credit. He's like, how do we involve making sure it's not just a sign that says snack bar or concession. It's like, let's put it in Spanish. So we put these big words in Spanish, antojitos, on the front of it. And same thing, like, because it's also a restroom, baños. And so this concession stand is there. And then from there, again, good product, good service. You don't have to go anywhere else. Just keep hiring me. We went and we got the project with them to remodel their entire high school.
Wow.
Awesome.
And so that was really I say it was my big project, but it just keeps getting bigger. That same client goes to another school district, hires me for more projects.
Wow.
And right now our biggest project is an $80 million school. So that's our biggest project right now, and it's with that same client. Give him good service, show him a good product, making sure that we're meeting his needs and his expectations, and the rest is history, as you say.
I love that. And that's good for every field because you're right. You make one good customer.
You plant a seed in the very beginning.
You plant a seed and then you take care of
flourish.
them. And it rolls into something lifelong. We were talking about that on the previous podcast too. And I think that that's really something that you're a staple for too.
Yes.
Like
I love that.
you talk about it with anybody you meet. You're like, yes, I do hair and I can make your hair look amazing.
Yes, I love making women feel great. And so anywhere I go, I'm so passionate about my career or my industry, and everyone knows I do hair.
Yeah.
I mean, when I walk into a building, people know who I am because I've set that. I've set that or planted that seed 10 years ago, so people know who I am. But yes,
I love that.
I love it.
And it's very important, that passion.
Yes.
Like you said, you can wear it on you, and people know,
And they
oh man,
notice real quick.
that guy means business.
Yes.
Yes.
Whatever
I
it
agree.
is,
Yes.
whether it's passionate about hair, buildings, treatments, but it just shows.
Yeah.
And
I
you
agree.
glow and you have an energy about yourself.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. Okay, Mr. Sergio, what habits do you think separate you from other architects?
Well, I think when it comes to business, you can have certain habits, but I would say it's more discipline.
Okay.
I wake up at a certain time every day. I make my bed. There's actually something, I don't know if it's real or not. It's on
It's
Instagram.
true. I know what you're going to say. It's true.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the percentage is, but there's a percentage of people that make their
Yes.
bed become millionaires.
Yes.
Yes.
Something to that effect.
It is true, though.
It is.
I'm telling you.
It is.
It's just part of making yourself do it daily
It's
and
a
you're dedicated to it.
routine.
Yes.
It's a routine. And
Yes.
so make my bed. Mondays and Wednesdays, I go teach at the university. I go back to the office. I go to the gym after the office. And then I go see my kids.
I love that.
But I think what's important when it comes to that discipline, another saying is success is boring because it's the same thing over and over until something grows out of it, right? And so I don't necessarily say it's boring. It's just you got to keep it up. You got to
Yes.
keep it up, because the one day that you miss that one place that you were supposed to be at, you might have missed a shot. You might have missed an opportunity.
Huge opportunity.
So definitely keeping those routines in place, I think, are important. And say where you're going to be, and be there. If you're scheduled for some time to be there, be 5 minutes early. I joke around with my kids. I said, hey, if you're on time, you're late. We got to always be early. And so wherever we go, we're always a little early. We're always there to make sure. I try and instill that time management, because that's really, money is important, but nothing compares to your time. Your time is your most valuable asset. And so
it's so true.
I don't want to waste your time. I hope you value my time and you don't want to waste it. So we're there to make sure that time management is always important.
Appreciated.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
I agree.
I love that.
Ready, Mr. Sergio? I think this is a question that everyone has. But as a business owner, how do you handle your slowest seasons?
There's several things that we do. So we are a small firm. Overall, we're 6 employees. But because we are small, we're able to be agile. And so a lot of the times in those slow seasons, I'll look at new things to incorporate into our projects, whether that's materials. We just started doing some 3D printing to start looking at what these models look like in person. Some of my interns are looking into virtual reality. How do we incorporate some of the virtual reality to experience those spaces before they're actually built? And so we are definitely agile enough to try things. And then at the same time, depending on how far along we were on some other projects, if I feel, hey, you know what, my team's a little burnt out, let's just take a week off.
Nice.
Do whatever you got to do, and then come back and refreshed and ready to kick some butt again.
A week off? I want to work there. I need to work there. Yeah. Like a fun question. I know this is way out of topic, but how do you feel about these like new projects that are coming out with like the 3D homes? Like right now there's these 3D homes being created, and I'm like, is that something an architect needs to be a part of? Or
so here's the biggest issue in Texas. In Texas, for the most part, you don't need an architect to build a house. You don't even need an architect to do most buildings, unless it's a school or something with the city, or something that's going to have more than 100 people inside the building, right? I do like some of the designs that are coming out with the 3D printing. I think for the economy of it, or the business portion, I can see how, hey, I'm going to do this one and just copy it and do it as fast as possible. Can make a lot of money for somebody. But I would challenge anybody that's doing that is it's important to still build a community, right? It's not just a row of houses forever. It should still incorporate some community aspects to make sure that, can the kids still play out in the street? Are there any parks nearby? Things like that. Making sure that it's a place for people. It's not just robots coming in and out of a house.
So you need the human touch.
Absolutely.
The human touch. Yeah.
Yes.
this is the $1 million question. Have you ever designed a building that you secretly hated later on?
I don't know about a building, but I cringe sometimes at my portfolio when I was in school. And even more specifically, my thesis, we had to design something, and I chose regionalism, so I designed something in Port Isabel for a hurricane center. And I go back and look at it, and I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. Like, this cannot be built. So not necessarily hated, but more along the lines of, man, what was I thinking?
The younger me just didn't know these things.
Absolutely. I was like, how did I even pass? No.
No. Okay, so rapid fire question.
Rapid fire question.
Do you ever drive by a building and you're like, oh, that's a bad building? Like, do you judge a building by its cover?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. So you'll tell someone is either an architect or an engineer when they're inside and they're looking up. And they're like, what is going on up there? And
Why did they do this?
Why did they space it like that? That's when you know someone's in the industry. But absolutely. You go back and you look at any architect from historically, it can be someone famous, someone not famous. That's kind of the point where you not necessarily criticize, but you critique it and you say, that works, that doesn't work. I really don't like the way that was put together. Or, wow, let me go inside and see how it feels, because the outside is amazing. And then there's other buildings that you're like, I did not expect that coming in.
Really?
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's all about that mood, that feeling, that experience. Because the way I design something is I want you to experience something. I want you to feel it. And if you don't feel it, then maybe I didn't do such a good job. I needed to work a little harder. But kind of going back to our discussion earlier where you asked me about how does it feel with my own personal buildings. So I've designed several schools, and whenever I open it up and then there's the kids, we always are recognized like, hey, this is the architect, and the kids are like, oh, architect, da da da. But then I go back when there's actual class and you see them using the building, the functions of the rooms and the way they learn. And you go back even a year later and they tell you, this is a grade A school because the learning just is off the charts. Like, that's the fulfillment for me a lot of times, where what we designed helped somebody, a student, a parent, a teacher, all these people working in these buildings do their job better.
That's awesome. And that makes so much sense. You know, you gave them a space where they could really contribute to the classroom in the right way. There was enough space that they needed for the desks. They had this whole thing where you have to have like group desks and then circle desks and then centers. And, you know, have you ever walked into a classroom and it's like huge? And you think, there is no way they need all this space. But then you see them with like their actual chairs and desks and stuff. And it's like, oh, shoot, there's like, this is exactly, this is what they need. So that's amazing. I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that. Okay, so now we have some rapid fire questions. Minimalist or dramatic?
Minimalist.
And do you like classic or modern?
Classical.
I like classical too. Do you like paper plans or digital?
I am a touchy person, so I need paper on me.
Yes.
Period. Okay, so fast, rapid questions. Deadline pressure or creative freedom?
Deadline pressure.
I like that. Early morning site visits or late night drafting?
Early morning.
Budget friendly or luxury build?
Luxury.
build, yes,
I think
agree
we're
with
all
that.
there. All right.
We all like that. Sketch first or software first?
Sketch, always.
Worst design trend ever?
You got me on that. Worst
I
one.
know, that's hard one.
Baroque.
What is that? They don't have money. They don't have cake. Pobrecito.
Not broke. Baroque. Actually, I want to take that back. I like Baroque. Are we still recording? We might have to do that again. You caught me off guard on that one.
Okay, I still have another question. What kind of legacy do you want your buildings to leave?
First and foremost, that it's safe, right? And it withstood the test of time. But a little bit of my ego portion here, right? I'm definitely team oriented, but a little small ego sometimes.
Yeah.
As an architect, you know, I want my kids to show up somewhere and say, hey, my dad designed that.
Yes.
That's my dad's building.
Yes.
Right? And so that's the ego portion. But, you know, the team-friendly answer is I definitely want that building to test of time, has worked exactly the way we designed it for that purpose that it was designed. Although there are some buildings that are repurposed and they work out great, right? It just really depends on the time. And most of our buildings that we're pushing for right now are school buildings, so definitely safety and though making those educational spaces really give them the most impact.
Nice.
I love that.
Okay, Mr. Sergio. If someone wants to build something meaningful, whether it's a building or business, what's the first step?
On the building side is understanding what purpose you want this building to do. And now that I say that, that also falls along with the business side. Making sure that what you're trying to achieve, building or business, there's a purpose to it. And how we talked about passion, that you have a passion for it,
Yes.
right? Because it's hard to wake up sometimes in the middle of the night and work if there's no passion, if there's no inspiration or motivation to it. So if you're passionate about something, it's gonna show on your work, and it's gonna show on your personality, and it's gonna definitely show on that product that you finish,
Yeah.
business or structure or building, whatever it is that we're doing. So that passion that we talked about, man, I live for that.
Thank you.
I love that. Sergio, thank you so much for being here with
Yes.
us. This was amazing. I think I learned so much. Now I know
did
the
too,
difference,
yes.
right?
Now I know a difference from an architect and an engineer.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Good,
Yes.
good. Lesson learned. No, thank you guys for having
Oh,
me. I
thank you
really
for joining
appreciate it.
us. Of course.
Like I told you, I've watched a couple of your
Thank
episodes,
you.
and they're
Means a
amazing.
lot.
Very,
Thank you.
very informational.
Thank you.
That's the goal.
If somebody wants to find you, how can they find you?
So we have a website, www.lainezarchitects.com.
Okay.
Our socials, same thing, Lainez Architects on Instagram, on Facebook. I don't have a TikTok, but something tells me my assistant's gonna start working on that soon. But we're located in Mercedes, but we're all over the valley, from South Padre to Laredo and even Corpus. So
Nice.
Awesome.
here to service everybody.
Nice.
Thank you.